Hello, this is Clive Hook from Clearworth, welcoming you to another 5-minute Think Spot. Today we're continuing with decision making and the diamond model, but the focus is on the kind of thinking that's needed at each phase. My guess is you'll notice something about you and your thinking as we go through this, and you may also notice thinking styles that you find can be a challenge to you when working in groups. Okay, so quick recap. 3 phases of decision making in groups. Divergent opens up the topic, critical turn or criteria check establishes the facts and boundaries for choosing, and convergent narrows things down to the chosen solution or outcome. These phases are colour-coded green, red and blue, and today we're going to explore green thinking, red thinking and blue thinking. If you have a strong tendency towards one of those thinking styles, you'll find one phase of the thinking process easy and the others more difficult. That's not to say you can't do it, you just won't have the energy and drive that your preferred style gives you. The 3 main colours subdivide into soft and hard dimensions. This is just a reference to the less tangible and more tangible or hard-edged ways of looking at things. No colour or hard soft dimension is better than any other, they're just different. So, the green phase and green thinking is all about what's new, what's not yet in existence, what the future could be. Soft green is happy with fuzzy possibilities about the future, thinking right outside the box. In fact, imagining a different kind of box or no box at all. Happy to ignore all the usual constraints and allow free flow of possibilities. So imagining and picturing the unimaginable is easy. Hard green is still about the future, but in a much more constrained way, taking what's there as the basis and finding ways to reorganise or rethink to make things work. Suppose you were trying to arrange a meeting room for a group of 60. Hard green thinking would play with different layouts to find out how to make it work. Soft green thinking would imagine a room without walls and floors, maybe no room at all, as a way to solve the problem. 2 very different paths. The next phase, now the ideas and extra information and possibilities have been identified, is to start using facts and data to constrain the thinking. You might remember this is known as the criteria check and the critical turn. It's the phase where the criteria for a successful decision are reviewed or established. And it's critical because if you don't make this turn, you could end up expanding and expanding until you have far too many possibilities to work with. Red thinking is the world of what's true. Soft red works with the more intangible aspects of data, feelings, impressions, 6 senses. Hard red works within the 5 senses and looks at what can be seen, heard or touched and established as a fact. Back to that meeting room. Hard red thinkers would want to know the dimensions, how much natural light and the positions of power outlets. Soft red would wonder about the atmosphere, the ambience, the feel of the room. So on the way to choosing and reducing the possibilities, there could be vastly different ideas about what exists to help the thinking and decision making. Decisions or solutions are the desired outcomes, and the convergent blue phase narrows down the options to arrive at the right one. Blue thinking is all about judging, evaluating, comparing, rejecting and reducing. Remember, this is about what's right. But what does right mean? For the hard blues, it comes down to logic and rationalities. The facts and data add up a particular way. The right answer can be calculated or estimated using maths, science and rational thinking. The figures speak for themselves. It's the obvious choice. Soft blues think about the less obvious, but to them far more important definition of right. What's fair and reasonable? What's morally right? What's just? Forget the data. What does your heart say? Both want the right decision, but the 2 forms of blue could find agreement on rightness, a tricky conversation. Remember, none are right or wrong, more or less useful. But if they're used in the wrong phase, blue trying to fight for what's right during the green inventing innovation ideas phase, or indeed green coming up with more ideas when the decision's about to be made, is counterproductive or obstructive. Well, thank you again for your time and attention. Our 5 minutes is up, red thinking, and I haven't been able to invent a different way to imagine time, that's green thinking. So this is Clive Hook from Clearworth, wishing you well and looking forward to working with you again. Bye for now.